Do you have any thought about who I am? What made me to become who I am today? Ultimately, who you are today is nothing more than the belief, right? That you had maybe sometimes back, some years back, or some days back, right? The belief that I had actually, has defined me to become who I am today, right? Because based on that belief only, whatever the actions, decisions that I have taken so far, I have taken. If I didn't believe, that is also belief, right? If I didn't believe on something, that is also belief. I believe that it won't work, or that is not me, right? So we are what we believe ultimately, because based on that belief, that thought only, we are making decisions and taking actions. So for you become what you believe, right? Because of what we believed, we have become who we are today. So because of what we are going to believe, we will become who we are going to be tomorrow. So that is a cycle that most of the time it is very difficult to understand even for me, right? Because we are too busy with the things that we need to deal with in our day-to-day life. So we can't sit peacefully and think what is happening to our life. Right? So because most of us are not getting that opportunity, we do not have the time to analyze who I am. We analyze other people, but we can't analyze ourselves. We don't have that peacefulness in our daily routine. But if we do it, we can identify this, what I am today, simply the beliefs that I had so far. What I am going to be will be the beliefs that I am carrying with me right. So for beliefs, there can be two types of beliefs: limiting beliefs and empowering beliefs. What actually indicates as a limiting belief, something holding us back, right? We need to do something, we love to achieve something, or we need to reach to a particular destination or goal, but something holding us back, but it is not a barrier or challenge, it is a belief, right? That something we believe we can't do, something we believe we can't achieve, right? So these, the beliefs which tells us you can't do it or you can't achieve it, even though we love to reach to that goal or achieve it, called as limiting beliefs. Simply, they can hold you back from where you want to be in your life, right? The problem is not having limiting beliefs. Limiting beliefs are with everyone, even with a highly successful person. There can be limiting beliefs unless he or she is a god. The problem, when we maintain this limiting belief, when we are not trying to get out of that loop, it can destroy our life, because our mind is very powerful. I have discussed about it many times, right? Sometimes powerful to a level that we can't control. Consciously, we can't control, right? So when we have a limiting belief, see, you can't touch them, right? You can't take it out like you are doing when an insect coming into your skin and trying to eat your skin. You can hold it and throw it away, but these thoughts, you can't do it like that, right? What is going to happen when it comes to our mind, especially limiting beliefs? It go into the deep of our mind, especially to the subconscious in technical language, right? And bring us lots of doubts when we are going to make a decision, when we are going to take an action related to a new situation. It brings us lots of doubts into entire system that we are having, our body, mind, and everything, right? And anyway, because of maybe something, we are taking actions, right? We are doing it, right? Whatever you think you can't do, you have doubts whether it will work or not, you are doing it, you are taking actions. But because of the limiting beliefs you are having, you can't bring yourself into that work or to that decision that you are taking 100%. As a result of that, maybe you are getting a failure result. Maybe the expected outcome will not come. So as soon as it happens, when you can't see or when you are getting a failure result, what is going to happen? Your limiting belief, empowering your limiting belief, telling, see, this is what I told you, right? This is what I believe, right? It cannot be done. So what is going to happen? This added into the counts. Okay, this is not working. So limiting belief getting empowered. Again running the same cycle. Again running the same cycle. This is not only related to that activity or that decision. It can impact like a cancer to everything that you are doing in your life. right? I'm telling this with my in-hand experience. Limiting belief related to anything will not limit to that particular area or thought or decision or action. It can spread to everything that we are going to do in our life and can destroy everything, right? Making us limit to a very narrow, frame. So we will be so defensive because we believe we can't do anything, we can't achieve this, we can't achieve this, we can't, reach to this level, right? We believe in deeply, we are believing. Sometimes how deep we can't even take it out for next 10, 15, 20 years, or maybe until we leave the world, right? So the problem, as I mentioned you, this loop, right, vicious loop, is going to empower the limiting belief again and again, again and again, maybe 5 or 6 times, maybe 100 times per week, maybe 1,000 times per month. Keep repeating. As a result of that, we are becoming what we believe, right? So mostly the limiting beliefs determining who we are today have determined and going to determine. So what we need to have ultimately empowering beliefs. We need to change the cycle, right? We need to have empowering beliefs. When we have empowering beliefs, the indication we can see the potential. Challenges and every problem and crisis will be there. But still we are able to see the potential individually, right? This is not only related to business, related to personal life also. We always see the potential. This is possible, right? This is how it is possible. Okay, let me apply this. We always see the potential. This is possible. I can do this. So we are taking actions. It doesn't mean every action going to give us a positive result, but we are not getting into that limiting belief loop. We always see this is not possible. Maybe the action I took is not capable enough to do it. Let me change it. Let me communicate with another person and get a better, solution. That is psychology the person going to have when the person is believing in something. Just imagine, just apply it something that you believe in, right? Anything, a tiny little thing that you believe in. As an example, very simple thing. Now, I don't know how many of you knew about Zoom before 2019. I didn't know. I didn't even, use this Zoom application. So I believe through Zoom, I can connect with other people somewhere in the country or in the world and communicate through video and audio, right? With that belief, I downloaded the application and created an account, and someone sent me a link. I clicked the link and came to the application, right? But some people couldn't believe it is possible, right? Right? When it comes to business world, I don't know how much of impact it is having, because in business world, most of the things that we are doing, that we are asked to do, right, following the system, is something very difficult to believe in, right? So the psychology we are carrying in our life, these limiting beliefs coming into the play and trying to create that vicious cycle, convincing us, convincing our mind, this is not practical, right? Because your senior member asking you to do it, yes, just do it, but this is not going to work, right? Yes, it is not going to work because ultimately the universal law, what we believe, we will become. What I believe, what I will become, right? So universal law will apply automatically when we are taking actions without having the belief, positive, empowering belief, right? But if we change it, we see the potential, we are taking actions, maybe we are getting failure result, doesn't matter, we are keep trying because we have seen the potential, and positive results ultimately will empower our belief. So the cycle will be positive. That positive belief we will transfer to the another person or team member or the family member or our colleague working with us. So this is what happening with everything, every little thing in our life. But it is easy to explain as a theory, but very difficult to identify and change in our practical life. Do you know, like 200 years ago, when very handful of people thinking about this concept, developing an engine, developing a motor vehicle, right, to replace horses. Do you know 99% of the people in the world didn't believe it? Even after few people developed this machine, people still couldn't believe it. Do you know that? If not, let's watch a small video, right? So you can understand the sentiment, right? Ordinary people, or not only ordinary people, even intellectual people had. about this innovation happened around 200 years, close to 150 years ago, right? So this is how one of the most famous brand was developed because of belief.
A witch! A witch is coming! A witch!
Stay with your brother. Hello! Is the pharmacist in here? I'm looking for 10 liters of Legroin.
You won't get those stains out of that dress. Better buy a new one.
It's not for my dress. It's for my carriage.
Are you trying to poison your horses?
Do you have 10 liters or not?
This is how we are moving here and there today, right? Just because of a belief. Actually, her husband was the one who developed this concept, right? Better engine which can work, but he couldn't complete it because of his sickness. So she took it as a responsibility for her life and started believing in her husband and the concept. So she wanted to prove it. So she did. That is why we are driving vehicles today. That is the first brand and the model in the world, right, in human history, which was invented as a motor vehicle. So why these belief, empowering beliefs or limiting beliefs are with us? It is simply because this particular thing, right, the process happening in our mind, reticular activating system, right? because of something, maybe because of our experience, or maybe because of the environment and the education that we have received, this filter or reticular activating system has been developed in our mind. Each of our mind is having this filter. Whether we like to believe it or not, whether we can identify it or not, it is there. Even right now, sometimes you are analyzing things rather than trying to get the essence even from this session because of your filter, right? That filter is that much powerful. You don't have the control over the filter, especially because filter is in your subconscious mind. So what is happening? This filter contains the ingredients related to limiting beliefs and beliefs. Belief means simply empowering beliefs, right? So when you have more and more limiting belief thoughts, the filter is capable of limiting every positive possible things coming into your mind, which can influence your mind to take action. Even though sometimes the conditions, the environment forcing you to do something, the filter believes is not practical, right? Sometimes one part of your body, not body, in your mind, need to believe this is possible, but the power is in the other part, believing it. No, this is not possible. I will do, but it is not going to work. You can even argue in your mind, and you can win the argue. This is not going to happen. Right? Just imagine related to some, new things that we have implemented in our business also, right? The struggle I'm observing with many people, it is not because of you. It is because of your filter. And filter came to you not because of you, most of the cases, because of your environment, because of your family, because of your society that you grew up with, and maybe some of your experiences, right? Created and gave the power to that filter. But ultimately, what is happening? This filter controls your life. But what is in there? Nothing more than some fake information and fake experience, right? But it is controlling and defining your future. It has done it so far also, right? So how to change this? Before we change this, we need to understand, we need to deeply understand how you got this filter, what is with you right now. For that, rather than looking at you, because when we look at us, when I look at me, I can't analyze things because the filter is that much strong. But when I look at another person, I can analyze things easily, right? So if you look at the environment that we are growing up with, you can see one of the strongest animals, right? One of the giant and strongest animals on the land actually is elephant, right? In Africa, Asia, wherever you go, we can find elephants, right? In most of the countries, right? These are the strongest creatures on the land. But same creature, right, can be tamed. Some people, especially in Asia, uh, catching these animals when they were very small, right? When they see a baby elephant and when they need to tame the elephant, they are catching it and giving all the pains, especially tied them into a rope, right? Very strong one. So this baby elephant trying to break free, not just few hours, few days, few weeks, few months, years, trying to break free, right? But they can't do it because the rope is very strong. Maybe it is a metal chain, iron chain, right? So they can't break free. So what actually happening as a result of that, when the elephant is growing with all the strengths in the world, still in one side, in the mind, the limiting belief also growing in a great scale that I can't break free from this chain. But what it can't see, when it is growing stronger and stronger physically, the rope is getting weaker and weaker. Right? The people who are taming this elephant using very thin, very weak ropes when they get tamed. Right? So initially they are putting all the strong ropes and creating this environment to program this elephant's mind. No, you can't break free. And giving all the pains also using metal pieces and some sharp edges, right? Giving all the pains when it tries to break free. As a result of that, after another not much, maybe 3, 4, 5 years, it's already believing in that it can't break free. Okay, even after become this type of elephant, it believes I can't break free. So this is how in Asia, I don't know other countries, in Asia they tame elephants and use for their work, right? Carrying wood and maybe to represent in ceremonies, to carry some religious stuff. It is very common in Asia, right? So this is the same thing happening for human being also, but not through a rope, but through a very, very much programmed system coming through education system, society and background and media and everything, right? So we have grown up consciously or unconsciously with that type of environment. So our reticular activating system, the filter, also something like this rope. It is very big compared to what we can do with our belief, with our action, right, with our potential as a human being. But this rope in our mind is holding us back, right? So how to change it? It is a process. It is not an overnight action or step that we can take to change our belief. It is a process. As Jim Rohn is saying, the environment that we are going to have or the circle that we are going to have or we are going to be can make a big impact on our filter. Because when we have grown up with an environment, everybody telling, hey, don't have goals to become a millionaire, right? Don't think that you are someone like this person or that person, or why you need to become so special, right? Become a simple person, become an ordinary person, right? When we hear this from family background and society, from friends and a school system and everything, our filter automatically getting empowered with those beliefs, right? So when we go through some failure attempts, even though we try to do something by ourselves, when we are going through some failure attempts in our life related to business or personal life or whatever, we also start to believe in, we are also empowering that loop, limiting belief loop. Oh, that is true. Right? This is not for me. This is not for the people like us. This is for, the successful people, right? Or this is for special people who are lucky to achieve it. Right? So that is the major reason when it comes to a business like this, it is very difficult to believe this is a business. This will work. This can help you to make millions of dollars. This can help you to help another, thousands of people in your country and the world. Hence, the actions most of us are taking is just actions. We don't have the belief. The soul is not there. Heart is not there because belief is not there, right? So those are just actions that we are going to take. Sometimes we are getting some random results. Most of the cases we are not getting results. Empowering, this is not possible. So as a result of that, we are empowering, right? Through our actions, we are empowering that limiting belief and empowering that filter called reticular activating system. So until we break free from this vicious cycle, it is very difficult for us to have conscious results. Okay, belief is the foundation, but it is very difficult to understand. I am telling it because I understand how difficult to believe in something, especially believe in myself. I was not someone believed in myself. I didn't believe I can, speak in front of 50 people. I didn't believe just few years ago also it was same. I didn't believe I can, speak with people who can only understand English because I believed I can't speak English then, right? Still, that belief is there in, to a certain extent. I believed I'm not capable enough to make someone understand about this business or about the things that we need to do in business, right? So many limiting beliefs were holding me back from where I want to go.